The four of you are in a crowd of a bunch of other adventurers, military folk, those that respond to war, help those in need. You've got caravans around you, horses, basically in a huge courtyard in a castle, and out from a tower walks a wizened.
Wizened.
They're both they're wise and wizened, I guess.
Okay.
They whizzed wisely.
Yeah.
Alright.
So he's old and he's smart, and it is a he. And as he speaks, White Fang, what do you hear?
A very soft whisper.
And all right, very soft whisper. Let me write that down so I don't forget it. So he's got a soft whisper voice. I can probably do that.
Old. He's very old.
Oh,
Soft? I don't think you can do soft.
voice like this.
I,
Like Dumbledore.
Whisper. Soft old whisper. Okay.
I swallowed a hockey puck.
Yeah. So kind of like husky too then.
Okay.
I'll take you on Flubber Jugger.
1-900 type of voice. So the wizard, all regal and confident, stands up on the balcony and he looks to the crowd of beaten down, downtrodden soldiers, adventurers, and those who are fighting for mostly good, basically not the destruction of the city or the world. And he says, yes, the battle is lost. The heroes have already died. And, well, it's time for plan B. So I want you, and you to come up to my tower. And you see directly that he's pointing at each of you. And you're like,
What?
Well, okay. I'm gonna walk up right next to the man, and I'm just gonna follow him and be like...
So there's a door leading up to the tower, and the door, he waves his hand, and the door opens up. And he says, please come up. Please join me. The rest of you, well, it may not be over yet.
I definitely do that thing where I look behind me at least twice, and I'm like,
Yeah, and then
I point to myself, and
the guys are around you pointing at you going, no, that's you. I think it was you.
I'm just gonna start walking up and go, I am Tamerlane the Great.
Okay.
Of course I've been chosen for this mission. You all are fools.
And you all proceed upstairs?
sure.
Yes.
Okay.
But when I go up there, I'm going to look back just to make sure no one's following me. Be like, oh, okay, it was actually me.
And as you guys go up the stairs, the door closes behind you. Now, it's not like a scary close like you've just been trapped. It's more like, oh, man. Yep, I guess this is what we're doing. So the stairway, as you would expect for a wizard's tower, is spiral and goes up. And there is light coming from the top.
I'm gonna walk to the top.
I'm going to walk up and do we know each other or I just want to make sure.
We were all randomly chosen from a crowd, I think.
I think that's
So-
right. So
So I'm going to introduce myself.
unless your backstory, which I haven't heard, but if your backstory contains each other, then maybe. Because there obviously was a war before this. But
I'm going to introduce myself as Kieran.
what does Kieran sound like? Just curious.
He sounds like Kieran.
That sounds like, okay, perfect.
Exactly like me.
Well, you'll always have that voice then. It's easy.
I'm gonna be like, hello, I am Kieran. I am a sorcerer and I will be happy to adventure with you.
I am Tamerlane the Great. I am a half-elf fighter. You
Sounds
should
more like
fear
a
me.
halfling.
Halfling trying to be a half elf,
You sound like some
creature.
short person
I
who
swear I'm
wants to
so
seem
much
like they're
taller.
super big. Like one of those scrawny people like, I'm super buff.
Could be super buff.
He is. I have,
That
if
would
there
be
was something like
interesting.
this, I would have an 18.
So if there was a mechanic behind describing what you were like,
Yeah.
that mechanic would
I'd have
somehow, if you could
If it
put
was,
it in
if it
terms,
was a 1 out of 20, I would have an 18. I would be like,
and
this
being
close to
great,
top.
or
that's pretty good.
this
I
isn't
bet
what my
he's not
character
very
sounds
awesome
like.
at,
This is actually
talking to
me
people, though.
asking you. at being great, you'd have an 18 at being great.
no.
He probably has a zero at talking to people and being nice because he's just like, I'm better than you. He's got that air.
Well,
We'll
that's
see.
not
This is a
always
chance for you guys
true.
to develop those characters.
I'm just sort of
So on the way
Is
up,
there any way to move this way some?
these two introduce themselves.
Did anybody catch the name of the wizard that called us?
No.
Old man wizard.
Old man wizard. I bet that's what he wants to be called.
I'm just gonna call him the Great Old Wizard.
I'm gonna call him. I'm going to call him Old Man Wiser.
If this ever gets released, it'll be a prequel without names. Just haven't really written his name down.
Okay.
Okay.
But
How do you even know he's a
If this
wizard?
ever gets released, and you
Well,
have to leave that in.
because-
I was told that he was a great wizard.
I heard a voice from the heavens say he was a wizard.
okay, so you guys make it to the top of
The
the
wizard's
stairs. I'm going to
tower.
push you guys along. Every once in a while, I do want you to enjoy and have fun and laugh. That's part of the enjoyment of this whole thing. But I will force you along. On some things, unless you guys tell me no, I'm going to assume like, hey, there's a stairwell in front of you. You go up it and you go through the door. So, which would be unfortunate and if there's a trap. So you need to stop me if the normal wouldn't be normal. And which case I won't roll anything. So you won't know that I'm doing anything. And you're just going to fall in a trap anyway. Yeah. And take all your, let's see, all your 3 points of
But
health.
I'm so
Yep.
squishy.
Then you just need to put Kieran in front. Actually, you just all can land on White Fang.
I
Yeah.
have like the worst.
I don't think You're probably not squishy, are you?
You have the
White
worst debt.
I'm 5'6", 140 pounds.
Oh, they said debt.
That's pretty squishy.
Sounds like
This-
that's not too bad.
Debt.
140?
You're a druid.
No,
I thought
wait,
you
no,
were a
wait.
barbarian.
I just realized
Yeah,
the
You've been
different
spending
sizes.
Robux again.
Says wood elf.
Yes.
No,
Druid.
Wow.
He said druid.
Oh, that's right, because you wanted to be able to shapeshift.
It's because
I mean, that's
he
cool.
Shapeshift.
wolves.
Shapeshift
His-
to a
I
wolf.
was,
Yeah,
my
because
backstory
he's
is I
wolves.
was brought up by wolves.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
He was raised
None
by-
of your business what my backstory is.
Well, you
Not
just
yet.
told us. So
You can tell it as you go.
No.
Or maybe we'll have
This
a
is-
backstory
this is not
episode.
Kieran. Kieran has no idea what that is. But I do.
Okay. So you guys make it to the top of the stairs.
Are you
and
not
as you'd
Kieran?
expect, this room, this wizardy room, has got the test tubes, the vials, the books. It's got a familiar sitting on the bookshelf, and that familiar Sigri looks like
a crow.
it's a familiar that's a crow. And the thing that strikes you most about this crow, Sigri, is
Big yellow eyes.
so big yellow eyes on a contrast of black feathers. I'm going to write that down. So now see, we're character developing together.
I'm pretty sure I saw a red feather in there.
His eyes are almost as pretty as my copper eyes.
And the
For
crow,
those at home,
this is going to be
White Fang
surprising.
just fluttered his eyelashes flirtatiously.
That's true, because they can't see you do that. So,
No.
right, yeah, so extra narrative. So, as expected, when you get in there, or not unexpected, as you get in there, the crow actually says, "Caw!" So, while it's a familiar, it actually didn't say anything, but what you'd expect. So, you get to the top, and the wizard, with his soft, old, whispery, husky voice, says, "Yes, it is true. The heroes we sent to defeat the evil, well, let's just say they didn't defeat the evil, and so all is pretty much lost."
Did they weaken it? The evil?
Not really.
Okay.
So this is plan B, and it may not work, but it might. And
So we're the
Plan B fodder.
bench players that are going
Yes.
in because the team got hurt.
I randomly selected you based on your characteristics that I didn't notice, and asked you to come up and complete this adventure for us, and maybe
I'm just very
save the
impressed
world.
that you saw me because I'm very short.
Yes, that was an accident. I was pointing to the one behind you, but
That's what I thought.
yeah, it's okay. This doesn't pay very well, and I don't think the other mercenaries were maybe so interested.
So why would we be interested?
Well, quite frankly, we think the world will end if we don't take this last-ditch effort to save the world.
Do we know anything about the bad guys? I
We
mean,
do,
do we know anything about the bad guys?
yes, but that'll come later on in a story that develops the plot much better.
I'm gonna act like I didn't hear that.
I'm a wizard. I can break and tear down and build back the fourth wall at will.
Wow.
Does that mean I can do that? 'cause I'm a
What's the
sorcerer?
fourth wall?
Are you a wizard of unknown told wisdom and levels? No. You'll learn that one day, young wizard.
I'm not a wizard. I'm a sorcerer.
I'm a fighter.
I'm a wizard snapper.
So what you see here, and he pulls out of his thin air pockets, because they always have those, is a seed of the evil that created the evil one. And there's rumors that there is a hammer that will smash the seed. And we think that based on the relativistic of time, that word didn't come out right. If we smash the seed that grew the evil, either we'll create another dimension in which he rules them all, or maybe we end the evil before it even started.
Does this require us to go back in time?
Well, we're not really sure what this requires. All I know is that we need the hammer that will smash the seed. The hammer was last seen in the sewers or catacombs, whichever you want to call them, below this very city. Our city is very old. You know the city we live in, the city that Tamerlane the Great is from, and that city is called Tamerlane. What was it called? You know the city.
The city of Kamuku.
Yes, that was the old name. Gary, you know the other name of the city. The other name, Kieran, that we all like to use.
Condor?
The city of Condor has been rebuilt many times. I know there's another city starts with a G that many people know, but that city's gone. Condor.
Its name is gone.
Yes.
That's a great city.
Been
there a few times.
Sounds similar. Our city of Condor has been torn down and rebuilt multiple times over the 1,000 years of its existence. And in that 1,000 years of existence of being built and rebuilt, there are sewers and catacombs aplenty down below. Unbeknownst to the bad guys, known as currently just the bad guys, we know an entrance to one of the catacombs where they reside is through the building that you were just at, White Fang. And where was that?
The Hall of Many Pillars.
That's right, the Hall of Many Pillars. Which is weird because it's a hall and has pillars. And what it's holding up with those pillars is quite fascinating. Those pillars hold up, Sigrid. When you saw that, what did you think to yourself when you saw them?
My, that's a beautiful ceiling.
And that's right, the ceiling is such artistic work of ceilingry.
Is there
Hall of,
mosaics?
did you say Hall of Pillars? That's
Of many pillars.
Hall of Many Pillars. Okay, I gotta write that down real quick. So,
Does it have mosaics or something on the top? I have not been there.
Frescoes and murals.
Ah.
By Michelangelo.
so he also goes on to explain to you that you're looking for a hammer, and this hammer is glorious and magnificent. It'll be the most beautiful and best thing you've ever seen. It's a hammer like no others. When you see it, you'll know it. And if you don't know it, he says that there's a symbol that happens to look like the letter T, but isn't a T, pounded into the top.
Maybe it's for Tamerlane.
It might be for Tamerlane.
Could be Thor's hammer.
By any chance,
Who's
is
Thor?
the evil one
You don't
I will
get around
fight
much.
him
tree
for
or
his
something? Because you said it was made by a
You
seed.
don't get out much, do you?
That's a good
No.
question. I don't
No.
actually have that part written out, so we'll see. It could be.
Is he a tree man?
Are you asking me, the DM, or are you asking the wizard?
The wizard.
Well, all we know, really, since the heroes, well, I guess they weren't so very heroic because they died, is that he's evil. And he started this chain of events that we, well, couldn't stop. And so, well, it's time for Plan B. And you guys are that plan.
Well, it certainly could be evil.
So
Well,
He
just
takes
think
you
like
guys-
the guy.
he takes you guys to the Hall of Many Pillars. And obviously, when you look around, you see these white pillars carved. And if you knew what it meant, the Greek time frame, but obviously you don't. But if you did, it would look like Greek pillars. And they're holding up a huge marble slab. So the ceiling is awesome. It is awe-inspiring. That one piece of slab, is that right? Thank you. One slab of marble could be that continuous and that white and that awesome. And now there is one vein running through it, and it's a vein of gold, which you would think would weaken this marble, but for whatever reason, it strengthens the ceiling, and it's held up by these many pillars. And at the bottom of these many pillars is a sewer grate, and you guys lift up the grate, and you see a small ladder leading into the darkness.
Is this our entrance?
I figured.
Well, he left me here with you guys, and this is where you guys are going to go in. I'm just going to head back off to the wizard. You need anything else from me?
Do you have a torch I could use?
Yes, and he, from his cart that he's pulling, and this is the guy, you realize he's the same guy that opened the door for you. Actually, magically opened. He's the same guy that ushered you in. He pulls off this canvas from this pull cart he was toting behind him, and he hands you how many torches?
Oh, I just needed one not lit, though.
And he hands you an unlit torch.
Nice.
Did anybody need... Wrong voice. This is going to be tough. Anybody need anything? Does anybody else need anything?
I'm quite all right, thank you.
I'm good.
Where are you from?
Here, from Condor, not from the other place that starts with a G and sounds very similar, but it's already been destroyed.
Do you have any
Why is your...
health potions?
He does, and he pops out a health potion for each of you, and it's when you need to use it, you basically just drink it, and it does 2d4 plus your constitution.
Do you know anything about what's down there?
Well, I don't. I'm messing with you. I can't. I'll have to write that down. So, Evan, you said it was Goncho's. Does it sound like Goncho?
Like, Minions 3.
Well, there, Captain. It goes down to the catacombs, as best as I know. I'm already blowing it. We'll fix that some other day. Goes to the catacombs or the sewers. I know they're wet, and I know it's dark, and, I mean, we know there's people down there, or humanoids. So
we'll be on our way then.
We hope the hammer's still down there, and if you could find the hammer, bring it back up. We'll smash the seed and hope for the best.
If I had a hammer.
Yeah?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Druid.
So you guys are heading down the small rusty ladder that's cemented into the side or the walls that go downward.
I pull my dagger and head down the steps.
I'm going to draw my longsword and head down the stairs as well.
So it's a ladder first. It goes about 10 feet down. So it would be hard to maybe do that one-handed.
I'm going to go down the ladder.
I put the dagger in my teeth and head down the ladder.
That's creative. I like it. All right.
I'm going to go down with a hand ready to cast whatever I need.
Oh, so you just... All right. I love it. You're going to be in a perpetual state of readiness?
For now.
Okay.
Just like everyone else.
So you guys climb down this ladder expecting danger. Nothing happens. And you see before you a stairwell spiraling into a much larger carved circular descent. So it's about 20 feet in diameter. 20 feet in radius. That'd be 40 feet in diameter last time I checked. And the stairs do what stairs do. They just simply spiral down to the bottom. And I think because you guys all have night vision, right? Or dark vision?
Yeah.
We all have
yes.
night vision. Dark
So
vision.
is it 60 feet for everybody? Probably?
I'm pretty sure
Probably.
elves have 120.
Further?
Fancy.
So you can see to the bottom of the spiraling staircase, and there is a lot of clutter at the bottom. You can't make it out exactly, but you're pretty sure it's boxes and statues that probably go along with those pillars and old furniture that's down there.
Is there any exit to the room that we're in or no?
The stairway going down, and you can bet that there's a way down from there or out.
Is there anything extra special about this room?
Well, that's your entry. It's the way down. So you guys are going to go down this stairwell, and you make it to the bottom. And in fact, you see upon inspection, you see White Fang is cold. White Fang is now, as well as Taberlin the Great, is not as great as we would think. He is also putting a blanket on.
It's cold.
It is cold down here.
Is it cold?
I will eventually.
The unit's back there, but don't turn it on heat. So you make it to the bottom, and you see, in fact, crates and old furniture and small statues of varying sizes between 2 and 4 feet. That some of them are actually on top of small pillars, which would make sense since this was the Hall of Pillars, though odd that it's down here in a place that didn't look like it was meant for storage because you had to come down that metal ladder first. And you do see an exit. Yep, this is my turn to look at the map.
Mhm.
And you do see an exit to the south, which goes to a short hallway.
Can I inspect the statues?
Yep, so what are you going to do to inspect it? Tell me what you're doing.
I'm just sort of gonna feel around on them and see if there's any like levels being used.
How many? There are a total of 15 statues of various size.
I'm just gonna like randomly choose 6.
And you're going to...
Just feel around for any like anything you could push in that would unlock something or put
Okay.
down.
roll a investigation check. Actually, first, just give me a. You said you're going to pick up 6.
6.
So roll me a 1d20.
8.
Okay, and now roll a investigation check.
16.
Okay, so you start feeling around. You guys are also looking about, and you're feeling around. So the statues. What are you guys doing while he's doing that? It's going to take him a few minutes.
I'm just gonna glance at the statues and make sure they don't look alive.
They definitely
Just
look like,
because-
you glance and they look like statues. Anybody else?
Okay.
I'm gonna inspect some more statues.
Okay.
And look for any traps or switches or anything as well.
Okay, so you guys are going to spend some time in this first room investigating. Roll a
And I'm-
1d20.
I'm going to walk.
Just tell me the number.
10.
Okay, and then roll. How many are you inspecting?
I'll do 6 as well.
Okay, then what was your investigation?
Hold on. I gotta go back to where
So-
my investigation is. And
Taberlin, you had a
that's
16 on investigation?
Yes, I did.
All right. And White Fang, what are you doing?
I'm going to walk the perimeter away from the south end, see if I see any portals that are hidden.
It's a 6, by the way.
Okay, investigation 6. So when you say portals, you mean any other way, any egresses, any other ways
Always
out?
respect
Yeah,
people.
other than this one.
You do notice there are small grates on the floor that look like some are letting water in and some are letting water out. And you notice that there's a trickle of persistent water, small, that's going out the south door, headed down the hallway.
Gross.
Now, one thing you guys do notice is while it is damp and you expect that, and it is wet because that's damp, and there's actually water there and you expect that, and there is moss around, so it's slippery, and you expect that. The one thing that you didn't expect is it doesn't smell. These catacombs or sewers don't actually smell what you would
Of
think,
sewer.
like it should
Yeah.
smell kind of not good. These don't. That definitely smells like kept, and which is odd. But you guys all recognize that. So upon investigation, Taberlin, you look through yours and you find nothing of tricksiness. There are basically statues, and as Sergei, how do you say it? Segri, got it.
Sigri.
Sigri,
Sorry.
oh, yeah, with an I.
S-I-G-R-I.
Sigri. So as Sigri is investigating the statues also, and Taberlin says, nothing here. Or actually, how do you say it? How do you say that?
Nothing here.
And Sigri turns her head to acknowledge his nothing. Something grabs onto her wrist.
What does?
It's a statue. It grabs onto your wrist. It is a...
Evan, you should have looked at those statues harder.
I am not Evan. I'm Kieran.
Evan, Kieran should have looked at those statues harder.
So the gargoyle grabs on, as his action, he's going to grab on your wrist and start to pull you towards him. So I'm going to have everybody roll initiative. Kieran, can you keep track of everyone's initiative for me?
So I'm rolling the 20-sided die.
You roll a d20 and add your initiative modifier. If you're on that,
19.
all right, White Fang will write them all down.
Wrong.
What?
I mean,
Kieran.
Kieran. Yes, I'm not going to give you anything that you have to do extra.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. So he just rolled 19.
16.
18.
We are so ready
What's
to
yours?
go. 16.
Mine is slightly not as good with a 7.
I got a 5.
Still more ready.
So while you weren't quite surprised since you were investigating, he oddly enough, in the way the D&D works, the mechanics are he has to wait until y'all wail on him before he can do anything, which I always find strange, but it's nearly impossible. I mean, there has to be a mechanic in place. So I think it was 19. Yeah, White Fang, you're up. What do? You hear this squeal emit from Sigri, and it sounds like this. And you look over
I didn't know we
and
had a
see
cat with us.
there is a small stone creature latched onto her arms or her hands with its hands, or right above the wrists.
I have my dagger already drawn, so I run over and stab the creature in the arm.
Okay, so you're going to roll a d20 and your damage and tell me all that.
Is it a humanoid creature?
Yep, small, humanoid.
Is it like one of the statues came to life or just like part of it?
One of it.
Do I add something to the 8 I just rolled?
Yes, but it's probably not enough. So your dagger has some numbers at the bottom. Usually it's like to hit and then damage.
It says plus whatever.
Dagger is 6 to hit. I rolled a 6.
No, say like plus
Don't
six.
roll that. Or no. What'd you roll in the D20?
8.
So 14.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you run over there and try to stab it with your dagger, but its stone skin is a little too strong for your attack, and it just scores across the front of it. You feel like it didn't really do much to it. And who's up next? Taberlin, what are you going to do?
I'm going to use my halberd.
What'd you think you
And
were?
I'm
So-
going to
That's me.
try to stab it. Is there like a side showing?
Yeah, you can see its sides.
Okay,
Its wings it has wings and they're out, and its hands are
trying
forward.
to stab in like the gut area.
Okay.
The gun.
I got a 25 to hit.
That barely hits.
Oh, I'm glad I got that high
Yeah,
roll.
I know. Right.
And I do 12 damage.
And I think it's Sigri next with 16.
Yes, it is Sigrid.
Well, I was going to try to hit it with the hand axe, but that's a 5.
Well, your hands are actually grappled right now.
Both of them?
Yep. So he
Oh, I thought it was
basically,
just
as
one.
you were, so what I was envisioning is you're running your hands over these things like Taberlin to see if there's any like trick switches or whatnot. And as you got to his hands, he just went whoop and grabbed onto
Gotcha.
your wrists.
Mm-hmm.
And that's much more descriptive
Okay.
now after the fact. But-
Yeah.
So your hands are clasped. So you
Okay,
could
so I can
you
just-
could still attack. You could kick it. You could headbutt it. You could attempt to free your own hands.
Yeah,
You
could I
swing it. I mean, you could do many things.
Could I like dex check to remove my hands from?
Yep. So I'm gonna roll strength, and you're gonna roll dex.
Okay. 15.
16. So you see Sigri do that thing where you pull your hands out of someone's hands, and you're supposed to go like where their thumbs are, and where their thumb and their index finger connect, you pull through. She's like, okay, thumb and forefinger, and go the other way. And she like pushes into the webbing of the gargoyle's hand, and she's going, it was the other way. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. I always get those things
You
backwards,
just missed it.
so it doesn't quite come out.
Okay.
Okay, so I go in and I see Sigrid is having trouble. So I go, hey, maybe I can blast it in the arms to help her out some.
Are you gonna shoot?
Please
So you're
don't
going for
miss.
the arms?
Or, no. Like,
That's fine. You're
upper arm,
Yeah, you're
shoulder.
aiming for the creature. I'm not going to make, unless you roll a 1, I'm not going to make
No,
you hit
I
Sigrid.
rolled 16.
All right, that does hit. And what are you using a spell or a
Yes, fire.
firebolt? Okay, so
Just to make sure. I'm
firebolt
messing
comes
this up.
screaming by you into its shoulders, and you do make that face, and the face is what everyone would make when someone's putting hot stuff at them and they're pushing away. So
And there's a
Sigri is going
Firebolt by anybody's ear.
Yeah, a little too close for comfort.
Do I add anything to the roll? Or like the
When you do
damage?
magic, the magic is just magic. You have a
Because
Some of
it's
them-
just save dice.
There should
right?
be a spell attack bonus.
I'm pretty sure there is. Can I see the?
I have a spell attack
The thing
bonus
for
for
it?
my wizard.
you have a spell attack.
Not here, but
no,
yes.
can I see?
I was about
the,
to say,
person
you have spells? I thought you were a rogue.
I don't currently have spells.
It's
So just a little shout out to let's see who actually makes these. I guess it's
Wizards of the Coast?
Wizards of the
Wizards
Coast.
of the Waverly Coast.
We own everything.
Wizards of Waverly Coast.
And if you want to put out more stuff, we'll buy that stuff too. And if you heard the quality of this die. I did listen to another podcast that promotes diceenvy.com, and they are correct.
Wait, what do they do?
Oddly enough, they make dice. They don't support us or anything. So this is just, I'm just saying these dice are pretty dang cool. So we're not plugging them. Well, I'm going to plug them. I like their dice. You think, why would I want heavy dice? You don't really need heavy dice, but they feel, I mean, I don't know. It's like wielding a light sword, or it's like when you pick up that plastic mug.
It's
at
the new
Chili's,
cool thing.
and it's too light. But when you
And
go
you
to
just splash
Outback,
yourself
it's
in the
like
face with your
glass.
Coke?
Yeah, exactly. So this feels good. It feels
All
like,
the cool kids are doing it.
and me. So yeah, we got everybody.
I just need some more so I can actually have a set.
They're playing
Okay,
D&D.
so you do some amount of damage. That's fine. You can figure it out, and you can mark it
That's
down.
a good thing to say on your
The
D&D
gargoyle
podcast.
is going to go for the easy play. He's going to go for a bite attack against Sigri. We knew that was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Does a 12 hit your armor class?
It does not.
It doesn't. I can see your armor class right there. So, because the firebolt was so hot and you were doing that thing with your face where you try to pull it away, it snaps where your face used to be because it's kind of blinded. And, well, guess what? Your face isn't there. So I suppose that firebolt sort of saved you, right? So it goes
in more ways than one, apparently.
chunk and add sound effect that goes chunk
Chunk.
with your teeth. Yeah. And it misses. Yeah, I can't make that with my teeth. I feel like it would hurt.
It makes
So we're back at the top of the order. Who was up? I believe White Fang?
It is White Fang.
You know, attack. You got to roll the D20.
awkward silence.
You got to lean into your mic, too.
Silence.
Gargoyle, we're evil guys trying to find the.
You're going to talk to the gargoyle.
Yeah, I'm talking to the gargoyle.
Okay. So you can say some things, but if you speak too much, it'll be your action. Does
It
that make
probably
sense?
won't understand you.
No, you can do it. I like it. Creativity is great. Who knows? You're evil. This is good. You're a druid. You're a person of creature and magic.
We need for you to let our partner go and show us the way down to where we can find the leader.
Okay, so you're going to try to persuade it, right? So if you can remember Justine's character's name, I'll give you advantage on the roll.
Sigrid.
Oh, dang. Okay. You can have advantage on persuasion. So you're going to roll a d20 and add your persuasion bonus.
Where'd you see the vision?
Don't see persuasion.
Oh no, Dad used it to help either you.
Starts
or
with a
Evie.
P. I'll be on the second sheet.
3 equals plus 3. So I got an 11 plus 3.
Yeah.
With advantage.
I
you
know
get
this
to
is
roll
tough.
again.
What is that, 11 plus 3?
14.
No, it's been a while.
It's been a long time.
14.
So,
14!
Kieran's correct. You could take the 14, or you can roll again and see if you can get a better number.
It's better just to roll.
So roll the 20. If you get lower, it doesn't hurt you. Yeah, that doesn't hurt you. So we're gonna go with the 14. So I rolled against you in a wisdom save, basically, and you beat his number. So I didn't actually intend for this to happen. So I guess that's the way D&D works. It was just supposed to be your first easy creature to fight. So the gargoyle looks at you, and you can see that his expression changes, and he'd like to say something, but it's not really alive and doesn't have air going through its vocal cords, and I don't know what they sound like, so it doesn't say anything. All it does is shake his head up and down, and he lets Sigri go.
Woo!
Nice.
I am Taberlin the Great.
And it just shakes his head no.
How did you know?
Taberlin
In
the
response to
Wheat.
Taberlin the Great?
Yes.
Is he still gonna? Is it still gonna show us where to go?
So should we go through that door to the
And
south?
he shakes his head up and down, yes.
Do you know what would be down this corridor? Would there be more gargoyles?
He shakes his head no.
Oh, this must be lonely for
Are there
you.
more monsters down that?
And you can have inspiration for that creative solution. So basically, you can roll an extra d20 on anything but attack if you need to. Like if you want to, persuade again or whatever, you can summon, use my inspiration.
It's for like
And I'm
save
actually
DCs
Pretty
or,
surprised you remember Sigri's name. So that was,
But it doesn't matter
He
because
didn't
he
need
used
it.
his first roll.
you did. That's true. Okay, so
I am impressed too.
he shook his head. He says, so basically, well, actually, I'm just going to answer yes or no. You can come up with what you think from that. So he shakes his head no to that.
So we're loose and
Loose
let's
and limp.
motor.
Loose and limp. Why limp?
Limber.
You mean like
That's what I meant to say.
Limber.
limber?
Limber.
So if I understand you correct, the gargoyles right there are now going to head south.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think there's any more to learn from the gargoyle.
And it
Unless
shakes his
we-
head yes. Are you saying that to the gargoyle out loud, or are you out? Were you? Sorry, it shakes his head
In
yes.
character.
Your voice between the two characters is very similar. It's hard to distinguish.
Between the two characters.
Mac, the character, and White Fang.
Mac the terror.
The terror.
Somebody else is
White
actually
Fang
playing
says, is there anything else we can learn from the gargoyle?
and slightly confused because it is the gargoyle. It shakes his head yes.
Oh. So there is something that we can learn from you.
Yes. Shakes his head yes.
Direction?
Shakes his head no.
Monsters?
Well, he just points to the south and shakes his head no.
Monsters?
Shakes his head no.
Where the hammer is?
Shakes his head no.
What is down there?
No. Shakes his head no.
Secret passages.
Shakes his head no.
I'm gonna
Something in
say-
this room?
He does like this thing with his hands, like
Warmer?
like rubs them together and
Money.
and does his head. So you feel like he's trying to say getting warmer.
Money.
Shakes his head no.
Cool items that might be helpful.
Shakes his head yes.
Where?
And he points to a box.
I'm gonna walk up to the box and see what's inside.
Okay, you go to open the box and it bites your face. It's a mimic. Just kidding.
Love mimics.
It's not. So
Dang it.
you open the box carefully, and inside you find
so cool.
another set of healing potions that were not readily available.
How many?
Oddly enough, there are 4.
So
I
it's
will
nice.
take all 4.
You won't.
They don't know what's in there.
I'm taking all 4.
I went up behind him. It's the natural thing to do.
Okay.
When
Yeah, somebody
the
who-
quote unquote
what's your
great is
alignment?
Chaotic good.
Somebody who announces that they are the great one after a battle that they didn't even win, I'm going to walk up behind them and see what's going on in that chest.
Okay, so
I
I'm
would
gonna let
not
you
trust
roll.
them
If
that
you want,
much.
you could probably pick one of them for yourself.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pass them. I'm gonna pick them all up and then start passing them out.
Okay,
One for each person.
that's fine.
Except Wolf's Bane, because he's got a lot of HP.
Are you okay? So he hands them out to everyone but you, and says, "Because you're a beast, whatever."
And I stick my dagger in his ear and say, don't I get one?
I'm gonna say, yeah, you do. And I'm
Good
just gonna
decision,
give it to him.
boy.
So you pass it off. One thing you definitely
Wait, how much does the healing potions do?
same thing. These are 2d4 plus Constitution. You keep it easy. Plus, some of you guys are quite juicy.
You mean squishy?
Yeah. One thing I've always seen in other
Plus
podcasts is when they do banter too much, like, I'm stealing, I'm this and that. If it's part of your character, that's fine.
Well, he is chaotic evil.
Yeah, I know. So that works. And you're also evil, so that works. But, like, actually saying, I'm going to stab my buddy, yeah, I'll probably...
He's chaotic good. I'm chaotic evil.
True. So, rationale-wise, chaotic is just simply the rules are whatever I make them. Good being, he probably could say, yeah, I mean, he is a bit more tough, and I'm not. So, be the good. I can take this and feel good about that. The rules make sense to me, right? So, chaotic good, chaotic evil. Hey, the rules are whatever I make, and I want you to give me that with a dagger in your ear. That kind of makes sense. You guys then are able to grab those potions, and the gargoyle flaps his wing, gets back up on his pedestal, and he just sits there in his normal state, or his watchful state that you found him in.